how to get from a 5 to a 9. I've gone through this process and I understand what it takes. I want to make sure you understand it so you can get from where you are, if you're unreliable, things are not working the way you want to where you're just actually dominating every time, man. And this message is for my guys who have this thought process that they're just giving up, because I'm too old, I'm too big, I'm too skinny, I got some health issues going on, I just can't figure things out. I got you. Specifically today, I'm going to testify on how I went from a 5 to a 9 and why that's so important. Why now I question everything I was ever taught about health and what the results is. What does it feel like to go from a 5 to a 9? And also, I'm going to break down getting to a 10. That's difficult, and there's a reason why. And of course, if you like what you hear, go ahead, hit that like button, the subscribe button, and notification bell so we can get some more of this information to you. And I have to give a shout out to all 176,977 subscribers. Appreciate each and every one of you. And if you can help me out just a little bit, hit that like button, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell so we can get some more of this information to you. And what I am going to do right now is break this down till it cannot be broken anymore. All right, let's get into it because we're talking about the sexual performance scale. That's a scale from 1 to 10. 10 means everything works. 1 means you need to go to the hospital. 5 means that you're unreliable. And in between there, we have sections. So if you're 8, 9, or 10, things are basically going well. You don't have too many problems at all. If you're a 5, 6, or 7, things are starting to get worrisome because you're unreliable. One day things are working, the next day things are not. And if you're a 1 to a 4, you have problems. You're in ED land. You need to fix a lot of things very quickly. And the reason why we break it down into these areas, I came up with this process because when I'm talking to guys, when I'm coaching them, it's very easy for me to just ask, where do you think you are? And we can start breaking it down because if you're a 5, 6, or 7 and you're in that unreliable zone, it doesn't take too long. You just need the right information to get to an 8, 9, or 10. If you're at an 8, 9, or 10, you need to know this information so you don't slip into the 7, 6, and 5. And because that happens, I was a 10 when I was 21, 22, 23. And then, things start going down. And if you're 1 through 4, do not give up. Do not give in. The information is out there. I've talked to guys who were zeros and they have made their way back up. You can too. I'm encouraging you to do that right now. So let me tell you about that life, living it at a 5. Oh man, I was living it up in all the wrong ways and it showed. I'm talking about, man, I would drive 2 blocks from my house down the street to the strip mall that had everything that was wrong for you. The McDonald's 24/7. We had the chicken spot, we had the liquor store, and the liquor store. I ain't gonna talk about that. But still, everything that was bad for you, the all night long gas station with all the crap, yes, I was enjoying all of it and I couldn't run around the block. Yeah, I was at a 5 for real. Like, some days when you are sitting at a 5, it's always a range. Some days I'm at a 5 and it's like, I slip down into a 4. Whereas like homegirl comes over and it's like, this normally doesn't happen since the last time it happened. Not good. And, got the receipts for it because I had my testosterone tested and I was at a 380, which is horrible because the average range is from 300, you don't even want to be there, to 800 or above. And, well, if you're below 300, you're definitely sitting in ED land. And when it came down to that bedroom game, it was a pure guessing game. It was like, I don't know. Let's see what happens. Let's roll the dice today, baby. Oh no, craps. Again, no, don't want to be there. Because when you get to that 9, life is completely different because you don't have to think about it anymore. When it comes to being a 9, I did everything the opposite of doing what I did as a 5, which is basically I dialed in my health. I'm talking about the sleep was much better, much more consistently getting to sleep. The workouts, walking 5 miles, doing high intensity interval training, eating 80% plant-based, all of these things, it took time to get here. And I'm gonna break that down for you in a second. Constantly researching more information, taking it in and putting it into my life, testing things out, making sure my supplement game was tight. not just, the good wood and just maca, ashwagandha. I mean, I have everything dialed in. And what does that leave us with? The receipts, 700 plus nanograms per deciliter of testosterone at 52. That's a good score, because when you're on that dominance level, you can actually have a shorter refractory period, as in, oh yes, you have your fun, you have your orgasm, and then you back up less than 5 minutes. And you can still go for a longer period of time. And let me tell you something, let me tell you the life story about what actually happens for real. There is an actual process you have to go through in your head from being a 5 to being a 9, especially as I did. I got to being a 5 for a period of time. We're talking about a good 3-4 years of sitting there at a 5 before I broke out of it. But while I was in it, it's sort of like being injured in a basketball game. You see like a Derrick Rose or somebody who has a knee injury, and they get up from, they used to be bouncing out of the gym. Now, every time they go up, even after they have the repair, everything is done, they're doing layups because they're just scared. They're like, oh my goodness, am I going to have that bad performance again? Well, once you break out of that in a 9, life is so much better. It's so much easier. Guys, you want to get there. You have to focus in to get there, because even once you get to a 9, you're still not done, because there's some more you have to do to get to a 10. And when we're talking about a 10, we're talking about a specific metric, because we're talking about your testosterone. What is happening with your testosterone, especially as you get older or you have too much body fat? Well, it's called aromatase. It's a hormone that turns your testosterone into estrogen. That's why guys with beer bellies, that's that estrogen that's in the beer that's messing with your body and making you have a beer belly. Well, if you have a belly, that is turning your testosterone into aromatase, which is why to be at a 10, you need to be at a 15% body fat ratio. Now, that's not everything. Obviously, you need to be, there's guys who are 15% who are still having issues. But if you're at the very least at the 15%, your body's working for you and not against you in terms of your body fat turning that testosterone into estrogen. You don't want to be there. You don't want to be there. Also, it helps if you are in tip-top condition. Oh my goodness, that makes a big difference in how you actually perform. So you want to be there. And it's all about a mindset. We're talking about you have to be consistent. Figuring out your pattern. We talk about pattern training over here all the time. Actually, I have a quiz down below. Take the quiz so you can find out where you are on the men's performance scale and find out the information right away so you can stop putting things into action. Hit the link, because you have to be consistent in everything that you're doing to turn it into a pattern that helps you. Anything that got you into the situation where your sexual health isn't good, it's because of your pattern. It happens all the time. What you're doing day to day to day, this is what this quiz will help you break down so you get the right things going. The other thing you have to do is take everything seriously in terms of your health. If you wake up with an ache, if you wake up with, your knee is throbbing when it wasn't throbbing yesterday, you're feeling a little bit stiff, you have to look at what you're eating. You have to look at your patterns, because when it comes to great health, it's a daily thing. You do these things, and that's how you get to the point where you're at that 10. And in terms of putting your body on that autopilot where you're into it every day, the first thing you have to recognize is there is no end game. There is no point where I'm going to say, you know what, I don't need to take supplementation anymore. I don't need to exercise anymore. I don't need to do the stretching, the walking, all the different things that I do that makes me feel. I'm 52. I feel like I'm in my 35s and I'm having sex like I'm in my 20s. I mean, this is a great thing to have. Guys, you have to understand, though, that this doesn't stop. It's not like, oh, I figured out this pattern, I'm on this pattern, and once, I come back from vacation or something like that, I'm back off, or I go on vacation and I skip everything that I've just learned. You have to stay dialed in. The other great thing is when you're bouncing this off of somebody, you're working with somebody. I got my man Vance. We often talk about, try this supplement. What about this workout? How does this make you feel? Oh, you're eating watermelon every morning. So what does that do? I actually have that question. What is happening when you eat watermelon? Stronger wood, everything improves. At 58. So that's what you need. The other thing, I'm just going to wrap it up. Question everything when it comes to your health. We've been taught a whole bunch of stuff to help other people make money. I got one quick example. My eyes. I used to, at one point, had the reading glasses. I was wearing the reading glasses. Now I don't wear reading glasses because I did research, figured out how to improve my vision. And being as healthy as I am, that's what's going to help you get better vision, better everything. Because when it comes to men's health, this is what we keep missing. We keep on thinking like, oh, it's just about an erection. No, your entire body improves. Your hearing improves. Your teeth can improve. Everything improves. Your skin improves. All of this is tied in. We just happen to have an indicator stick right in the middle of our bodies. If that indicator stick isn't working right, you ain't working right. That's all there is to it. So just ask yourself some basic questions to help yourself get through this. Is taking a pill for the rest of your life logical? It was a pattern that got you into that situation where you got illness. Use the pattern to get out, not the pill. Would I tell my child to live the way that I'm living right now? So yeah, you got the little smoke, you got your little drink, you're doing it. Yeah. Would you encourage your child to be like that? Probably not. Then you shouldn't do it. And just remember, the average person is unhealthy nowadays. So be better than average. It's not hard to do. It's just recognizing you can't do the same thing that the average people are doing. So fellas, if you're in that 5, 6, 7 range and you want to get to the next level, hey, I gave you some clues, but I had to get more specific for your situation. So go ahead and click the link below where we have the actual quiz. You go through, you take the quiz, just less than 5 minutes. And at the end of it, there's a video of me just breaking down where you are and what you need to do next. So go ahead and do that right now. And once again, this is Brian, aka Uncle B, telling you, get your game up and go hard. Peace out.